Hey everybody, welcome to Back. Here's some Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Tiffany.
So today we're going to talk about X-Men Asgardian Wars. The X-Men practically invade Asgard.
Why?
It's pretty dope. Why? All through the machinations of one Loki.
Ah, of course.
Odinson.
Right.
This is all written by Chris Claremont with art by Paul Smith and Arthur Adams. It involves two different X-Men / New Mutants stories
Okay.
that are roped up into one trade
It's like a
paperback.
crossover.
It is very much a crossover, which is funny
between
because like
X-Men titles and with Thor.
Thor is
not really.
not in this at all.
All right.
All
He
right.
is dealing with Hela in his own like 2 or 3-parter story event.
Okay.
But it does actually have ramifications. The Thor story is cool and has Scourge that you liked from Thor Ragnarok because he was played by Karl Urban and he was totally dope.
Yeah.
And he
Okay.
liked old school weapons and he had that AK-47 and he was like he died fighting them.
Yeah, yeah.
That happens in that Thor story.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. We're going to talk about X-Men Asgardian Wars, which opens in a... Okay, so basically the first half of X-Men Asgardian Wars is a story with the X-Men dealing with Loki, and then the next story is like the fallout from that involvement.
Okay, so it's like 2 chapters.
It's basically two
Or
different
2
comic
acts.
books that they decided to put into one trade paperback.
Yeah.
All right.
Because Cyclops, I think, in the latter story, makes a direct reference to it, where he's like, Loki, you promised you'd leave us alone after the last time you dealt with us.
Which just happened.
And he's like, oh, I did, if you look at it from a perspective that is not one of logic. And you're like, damn it, Loki. All right, fine.
Were they separated in time, these 2
Big
stories?
time.
Oh, wow. So it was like months or,
Yeah, or even years.
or even years in between? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now that is a
Okay.
little weird then.
So the story opens with Cyclops and his wife, Madeline Pryor. They get married, and then he quits the X-Men, and they try to have like the simple life together in Alaska, running this simple, plane chartering business.
Right. No.
Sure.
Is this a point where they don't know anything about?
Her,
Yeah.
the fact that she's like a clone of Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like they went through all that. I mean, they went
okay.
through all of the drama of her looking like Jean.
Yeah. And no. How many people think that's really weird?
Everyone.
They're like,
Everyone thought it was weird, but no one said it out loud except for Cyclops. And when Cyclops does like accuse her of being connected, everyone's like, "Whoa, Scott!"
I don't even mean just
Nobody
that.
wanted to give her a hard time.
I mean, the
about
fact
it.
that he ends up marrying her,
bizarre.
they're like,
That's creepy and weird.
Scott, what are you doing, man?
No, they all like her. She's cool and friendly, and acts just like Jean. So it all works out. Because our friend Jean died. She was the Phoenix, and then she died.
And now we don't have to deal with that anymore. Yay!
Yeah.
No.
Oh, we got a new Jean.
Yeah.
Named Madeline.
Named Madeline. She's way better. She doesn't have any powers. And she's quiet. There's also another character in this. She's a member of the New Mutants. That's Rachel Summers, who is a displaced, time-stranded daughter of Jean and Scott. At this point in continuity, she knows her lineage, but Scott doesn't. And in fact, everyone in the X-Men knows that she's Scott Summers' daughter, except for Scott.
What?
Scott's a dope. Or he's just really good at lying
Wait.
and pretending that he doesn't know.
It says, and she goes by Rachel Summers.
Oh, yeah. Scott and Madeline are flying a plane with a bunch of fun characters who all have very distinct personalities. One of them is an engineer / architect who's like drawing these amazing, fantastical castles. And
Oh, he's an Imagineer.
he's an Imagineer. And he's basically like, I wish that technology could catch up with my fantastical concepts. We could see these futuristic, beautiful castles and crap. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm making that a point because
Because the Langoliers are going to happen?
the Langoliers will happen. No.
Because it's like you put together a random group assortment of people
Yeah.
In an
who have very
airplane.
distinct personalities.
And then they go on a plane.
And they all fall asleep.
and then
That's
when they
how
wake
that
up,
happens.
they're either all dead, gone, or in time.
Yeah,
None of those things happen.
that's a shame.
Instead,
No, it's not.
I don't know. I guess that remains to be seen.
but so the X-Men look very different from what most people remember the X-Men to be. But that's
Yes.
in keeping with the X-Men because the X-Men, like the Avengers, like keep rotating.
Constantly
people.
change, yeah.
Cyclops left, Storm has no powers. So the X-Men are Colossus and Nightcrawler and Rogue.
Wait,
and
why does Storm have
Wolverine.
no powers?
Because she got hit with like a ray that Forge made that made her lose her powers.
It's kind of a dick move for it.
He didn't do it on purpose. Also, he lied about doing it, so she won't find out until they bang. Then she will find out.
Oh
I'm sure that
man,
goes
high
over well.
drama.
Yeah, exactly. See? Rachel has like a meltdown because she has a psychic vision of her father, Cyclops' plane going down. She actually projects the image of him staggering out of the flaming wreckage and then passing out.
Oh wow.
Well, see, he just passed out.
Right, but like maybe
he's
he
fine.
died. It's a psychic vision. I
Yeah.
don't really know.
Right.
It's also all yellow, so who knows what would actually happen. Rachel has like a psychic vision that that Alpha Flight was involved. So she immediately like goes to Canada and attacks Alpha Flight.
Okay.
Because she's like, you guys know something, and I saw you in my vision.
None of the X-Men tried to stop her?
They can't catch up with her. They eventually do, and they send the Blackbird and Rogue and everybody. Alpha Flight is a team of characters like Snowbird and Shaman and Sasquatch and Puck. And
Puck?
yeah. Puck is a midget
Yeah,
or a little person.
I remember Puck.
They call him a midget throughout the book, so that's why I call him a midget. But,
Okay.
he's small but fierce,
Uh-huh.
and he's fun and cool.
Who's the hairy guy?
That's Sasquatch.
That's obviously Sasquatch.
Oh.
That's obviously Snowbird.
Yeah. Look at how beautiful he is.
His feathery body.
Yeah, he is kind of beautiful.
Shaman has the ability to reach into his magic sack and pull out like all kinds of magical items.
Oh yeah.
He's also Native American or
Sure.
Native North American. Also, they're dealing with other characters. Their leader Guardian died very recently.
Okay.
He was damaged in a battle and was in like one of the rooms just trying to like desperately fix his circuitry because he's like a cyborg. And his wife came in and distracted him and he blew up in her face. So she's feeling a lot of
Did she like
guilt.
ask him to do the laundry or something?
She's like, what are you doing in here? He's like, honey, no, look, come on.
Did she not know he was a cyborg?
She didn't know that he was about to explode. And she distracted his concentration, which caused him to die.
All right.
Rachel basically tears up the joint,
Yeah.
and before Sasquatch can tear her apart, Professor X yells at her and dresses her down in a fatherly / inappropriate way, where he's just like, how dare you?
Is
Like,
that-
you meet me on the psychic plane, where we will have a strong and earnest and boring conversation about your
Is
powers.
he standing?
Oh yeah, no, Professor X can walk during this time.
Everything's topsy-turvy.
What is happening?
just accept the fact that the X-Men have a tumultuous past.
Ugh.
But yeah, remember, Professor X is
I know, he's only paralyzed
Paralysis
because
was-
his,
was Shadow King.
King. His plane is astral.
but eventually it will be actually paralyzed, and then no amount of psychic effort will make it work.
This is awesome. Professor X says, you are an X-Man, Rachel. You have no right to tamper with another's mind, regardless of the provocation.
What a hypocrite! Yeah, Onslaught, you tell me more about that.
He's like, well, I'm not an X-Man. I'm
Professor
I'm
Xavier.
what the X-Men are named after.
I'm the namesake. I don't have to hold myself to a different standard.
I do as I please. I'm like Doom.
Yeah. Fool.
Yeah.
So while the X-Men and the Alpha Flight are getting acquainted and gathering the resources to go see what happened with Cyclops, Loki is talking to the gods of Asgard. Not the fact that the Asgardians are gods, they're gods.
Oh.
So Loki's trying to like turn over a new leaf during this time. He's trying to like prove that he's a good guy because he wants to rule Asgard.
Right.
So he's trying to like be cool.
Yeah.
And
They're all cool.
the gods are basically like, okay, you say that you're cool, but you're also the god of lies. So let's put you on a little like web quest. You're a liar. You need to prove that you don't mean humanity any harm. So you've got to do a good deed and make some kind of long-lasting impact that is felt by humanity that is beneficial.
Okay.
And Loki's like, okay, I will. Okay, well, anyway, so he goes and does that. So Loki's machinations of trying to make the world a better place result in Cyclops and Madeline's plane going down.
That's very specific.
Well,
Yeah.
it's actually incidental. You see, everybody's up in Alaska, right? And Loki is hatching a scheme that is deliberately attempting to be beneficial, but of course it's Loki, so it's screwed up.
Uh-huh.
But there's basically just this huge blinding light of energy that's blasting out of the ground.
Okay.
And that's what like blinded everybody on the plane
Okay.
and caused
So
the plane to
they
go
crash,
down.
yeah.
But
Right.
also kept them from dying.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, so, you know, it's not too
So
bad.
Alpha Flight and the X-Men team up. They get in a plane. They fly out to where the Summers plane went down.
Right.
Yeah.
We also get acquainted with a couple of other characters. North Star is a member of Alpha Flight. North Star is gay,
Okay.
and he's one of the first openly gay Marvel characters ever created.
What are his powers?
He flight and increased strength.
Okay.
Very generic.
Generic powers, yeah.
I don't recall if North Star has been outed yet.
Okay.
But it's absolutely being hinted at.
Okay.
But Rogue is also totally dense. And North Star has like a real problem with Rogue for some reason. And Rogue is like, ooh, that means that I need to like try harder to get this guy to like me. So Rogue and North Star have this whole subplot where she's just trying to win his affection and North Star is having none of it.
I kind of like that for her character because of the fact that she can't actually have romantic entanglements, naturally she would go after those who she couldn't actually have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, well, seeing it didn't work out. That's fine.
Right. Well, and she does touch him and absorb his memories and experiences. So she's like, I know you better than you know yourself.
You are gay.
Oh,
She
wow.
doesn't say that. But she does also try to like be with him, which is weird
That is weird.
and complicated. So anyway, they land, and as they're going down, they notice, because they sent Rogue and North Star to reconnoiter. And so when they find a huge patch of no snow and lush grass, they're like, oh, we'll land here on this airfield that was created for no reason.
Right.
And
in the
they-
middle of
That's not
Alaska,
suspicious.
in the middle of the tundra. So they land. Meanwhile, Snowbird, whose powers are magical based, she is getting really messed up. She's like sick and close to death. And so,
She's like sick?
yeah, well, seemingly, she just kind of fell ill suddenly.
Okay.
And so they leave her on the plane, and then when they land, they go into this crazy He-Man-esque castle.
Did they all notice it before, or did they just suddenly go like, neat?
Yeah, they step out of the. They're like, "Oh, look at all that grass!" And then they get out of the plane and they see this gigantic structure that they couldn't possibly have missed from the air.
Yep, that's right. That's
Check
exactly
out the
that.
Seussian castle.
Yeah,
Shall
Yeah.
we go in?
it's awesome.
Why not? Before they do, Cyclops comes out, not wearing his ruby quartz visor, and in
Oh.
fact, totally fine. He's like, "What up?" Also, he's wearing a totally awesome outfit, and he's like, "Hey, gang."
I don't know if I'd say totally awesome.
Fair enough.
But he thinks it is.
Well, everyone thinks it's the new fashion because everyone will be wearing those things in a couple pages. So Cyclops is like, "What up, gang? I'm free. I'm good." Cyclops' optic blasts, right? They
Yeah.
need to be contained within a ruby quartz visor. That's actually not the curse of his powers. His powers should be able to be used at his whim. But when he was a kid, he suffered a traumatic brain injury,
Right.
which caused a malfunction in his mutant ability. So he
Right.
doesn't have control over his optic blasts.
Right.
Wow.
His natural course would have been to
To be
have
like this.
control.
Exactly.
Right.
He doesn't look anything like
No.
Would imagine him to look like
Yeah.
if he didn't have those visors. Yeah.
No, he looks like no character I've ever seen. No
it's-
version of
Yeah.
Scott I've ever seen. That's bizarre.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's cute because Professor X is like, "Look at you, my boy, you're fixed." And he's like, "Yeah, it's all good.
You're
We're all
fixed.
great."
You were totally broken before, and I
Yeah.
didn't like you then, but this is really exciting.
Listen,
now.
I'm walking.
Yeah.
I'm the pot calling the kettle black here.
Welcome to the world of the fixed. Isn't it nice over
Welcome
here?
to my world.
Let's get rid of these losers I was traveling
Yeah.
Hey, Nightcrawler, go fetch us a couple of normal people glasses.
Excuse me.
So Cyclops doesn't know who Rachel is. He's never met her.
with. Ever?
Yeah.
What?
Oh no. When he quits, that's when Rachel shows up. And Chuck is like, "Let's keep her a secret." And because she's not ready to tell Cyclops that she's his daughter.
I'm starting to think that Charles does these things just for fun.
I think he does. Not enough drama in my life.
Let's not tell him, because it's gonna come. It doesn't really affect me.
Right.
Nope,
Like,
but I'm very
I'm gonna really
involved.
enjoy this later on. You guys are my stories.
No, Rachel's like freaking out about how she's like, "Oh my God, it's my dad. Should I tell him?" And Professor X's like, and
Better
this
not.
is no. She's like, "Don't tell him that it's me."
Oh.
And he's like, "Okay, it's up to you. It's your choice." So he's like, "Cyclops, this is a new student named Rachel," and he's like, "She looks really familiar." Anyway, let's move on.
Somehow
So
I
they-
feel like I know you already.
Yeah, so they go into the big castle, and everyone from the plane is now wearing similar outfits to Cyclops, including Madeline Pryor.
What is happening? This is bizarre.
It's very bizarre. It's positively Claremontian. So they get
Alright.
there and they meet up with Madeline Pryor, who now has powers. And her powers are basically to fix you.
Oh, so she fixed
Cyclops. And at one point or another, she goes to Puck and she's like, "You're a dwarf." Fixed. And then he grows up into his height and should be.
Seems inappropriate.
Totally.
That's not cool, man.
And he's like, "My pain, the constant pain I'm in all the time.
You were in
it's
pain
lifted."
all the time?
Yeah, because aren't dwarves always in pain?
I don't know.
Well, neither do I, because I'm Chris Claremont. I'm writing this story. So Puck is like, and he has to like learn how to acclimate to having long legs. So he's always tripping and shit
Well, this is gonna
The
be
way
real
he's
sad
drawn-
when
when he
doesn't-
goes back.
The way he's drawn is like he's totally out of proportion now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I need to look like Puck, but I don't know what Puck in proportion looks like. So
Right.
here's what he looks like.
So it's weird.
Also, his clothes ripped. There's a couple of people in Alpha Flight who are like miserable and broken. There's one person who has like two different personalities and they're at war with each other, and she like touches her and she's like, "Nope, you're good." Like the one that was annoying that went away. Like Sasquatch, you're cool. You can like control your ability to change into Sasquatch.
Oh, is Madeline Pryor like a giant?
She got taller. Everybody's getting fixed.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh man, we should fix Snowbird. She's on the plane. I'll go get her." And she's missing.
Oh. Whoops. Everyone just left her?
Yeah. She was just dragging us down, man. Just leave her on the plane.
All right.
And everybody's having a great time. In fact, Madeline touches Wolverine and silences the madness in his mind, so now he's just totally well-adjusted Wolverine. Berserker Rage is gone. Now he's just Wolverine.
He's just a regular Canadian now.
Yeah.
He's just friendly and
Helpful.
kind, and he just wants poutine.
Madeline also fixes Rogue.
What?
Oh, wow.
So
she
Rogue
can
grabs
touch people?
Northstar and makes out with him,
Oh,
which is also very problematic.
okay.
So Professor X is like, "Do you mind if I like check over you to see like where these powers are coming from?"
Right.
Yeah,
Like, this is really suspicious.
Yeah. So he does probe her mind, and he doesn't really get any good information except for the fact that she's pregnant.
Oh.
What?
And he's like, "Madeline, you didn't tell me." And he's like, she's like, "I haven't told anybody." And Cyclops is like, "What?" So Rachel is like, "Oh my God, she's pregnant." And like, I know that I grew up as the daughter of Scott and Jean, but Madeline's practically Jean.
So maybe it's
Maybe
me
that's
in
me.
there.
Maybe that's a version of me.
Oh, God.
And then Madeline reveals that it's a boy
Oh.
who is going to grow up to be Nathan Summers, of course, aka Cable.
Oh.
This is the first appearance of Cable.
There he is.
Oh, so this book's worth something.
Yeah, it's not these trades. But Rachel's like, "Oh, this is absolutely the worst timeline. I'm not even going to be born here." And you're like, "Oh, give it a rest, Rachel."
She runs away.
Yep, she drops a tray of things she was carrying and then runs into the darkness.
Yikes.
She's gonna go work out.
That's certainly
See, she's in her athletic
best reaction.
costume there.
Exactly. So they're like, "Well, how is it possible?" And oh, because in the middle of this castle is this like beam of magic light that's blasting out of the ground into the sky.
Oh.
And we just jumped into it. And so we have all
Naturally.
this cool stuff.
And we thought maybe if I jump in that beam, I'll get powers. And
Well,
sure
it's like
enough, I did.
Well, their plane jumped into it by accident.
Oh,
when they
I
built
see.
their castle around it. By the way, the castle, of course, is from the engineer's notebook.
Ah.
And he's like, "Look, I can make all my wildest fantasies come true. I can make anything I imagine."
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So that's why they're living in there. And they all get gifts. In fact, Guardian's wife is like, "Hey, if I touch it, maybe I'll get over my husband's death."
Is that her?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
So she does, and she becomes like the new leader of Alpha Flight, because that's like the epiphany she gets from getting healed.
What?
Oh.
That like,
and-
I guess it doesn't matter.
Oh, and she looked like
Well,
some sort of Valkyrie.
anybody who goes into the light gets adorned in awesome Asgardian clothing.
Uh-huh.
So
So none of this is real. It's all an illusion or whatever
no, it's
created
not an
by Loki.
illusion.
Okay.
It's really happening.
Oh.
It just has to all go back in the bottle. So Shaman's bag goes haywire because it gets freaked out by the magic that's blasting out of the ground, and a bunch of like demons jump out of it and cause a
Yikes.
bunch of ruckus.
So then there's a conflict they have to deal with.
Exactly. So they all like fight, and they get rid of his bag, and they like throw it in the woods. 'Cause that's what you
Well,
do with all your
clearly,
problems.
clearly you can't be allowed to keep this bag. We're just
No.
going to get rid of it.
Exactly.
You can't control these demons.
Exactly.
Okay.
Anyway, they find the engineer's notebook, and like they're looking through it as they're trying to like look for Snowbird. And they find like a cave, and they're people.
Well, the engineer was just walking around outside.
Well, it's like
dropped his book.
when they crashed, they had to go towards the area where like they didn't land in the beam. They crashed, and they had to walk towards the beam.
Oh, okay.
But
So she's near the crash site.
yes.
Okay.
And so they're searching for Snowbird.
Yeah.
And they find a convenient cave, and they bring Shadowcat because she can go through things, and so she can search caves faster.
Sure.
And they find the engineer's little like sketchbook, and what they find in the book is that his like ornate, amazing drawings become more and more simplistic and stupid as they go,
Okay.
until they become like a square box with like a crappy dog.
What happened to
Snowbird?
Snowbird?
She's being trained. She's being like messed up and changed as a result of the magic that's being used.
She's becoming a bird creature.
Yeah, which is a thing.
It's the first sign that there's something sinister
Snowbird
about
can
this
turn
magic.
into a bird.
Oh.
So we're
But
just seeing
she
how
doesn't
like
usually look like that, though, does she?
No. So Wolverine finds her.
Yeah, the beam is fixing her.
No, it's not. The
It's
beam's
like,
messing
would
with
she
her.
make a little nest for herself?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a bird.
The other guys who are part of the converted, I guess you could say, are looking to kill her because her magic is mucking with their magic.
Oh.
The people from the airplane,
Yeah. Who are now
they're just like, I'm not going back to being a normal person.
bingo.
If I gotta kill her to keep my powers, so be it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yikes. All right, so they're bad people.
Yeah, and of course Shaman has fallen into like a state of unconsciousness.
Why
as a
does
result as
Rogue
well.
look like she's at like a debutante ball?
Because they're basically going to throw themselves a party for like being so awesome, and Rogue, now that she can touch people, is like, I'm gonna dress sexy and stuff. I'm gonna show off some skin, and I'm gonna I've never got to go to a dance at school.
Okay.
So I'm gonna treat this like that.
Yeah.
North Star, do you want to dance with me? No, I don't.
No.
Let's dance anyway.
Damn it. That is not okay, Rogue.
No. But she's reveling in her freedom,
Right.
and
I guess
good
she's
for
looking
her.
around at the rest of her options.
yeah.
She's like, well, there's Professor X.
Nope.
No.
It's like, nope. Wolverine, he's not here.
He's not here. No.
Yeah.
Sasquatch? Yeah, I don't, no. All right, North Star. I don't care.
Yeah. I know his deepest, darkest secrets, and I'm just going to choose to ignore it.
It's fine.
He doesn't want anything to do with me, but
Yep.
no, you're dancing with me.
Well, what's great is, so Loki obviously is the result of the power font.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
for the
he's
cause.
watching them, and he's like seeing them all like debate whether they should keep their powers, or whether it would be like cruel to use them, or whether, because of
Right.
the affecting nature against like Shaman and Snowbird and whatnot. And Loki's like, what is wrong with these people? I
Right.
gave them limitless powers, and they're debating the moral quandaries of such. That is so obnoxious. Just keep it.
Right. Well, he needs them to like keep
Accept
it because if
'cause
they don't, then
I've got to do a good deed for
Yeah.
you.
why are you questioning the goodness of my deed? You're ruining everything.
Yeah. So Wolverine comes back, and he like shows them that he basically beat the crap out of everybody.
It's like, hey, these people attacked me. It's not cool.
Oh yeah, no. And Wolverine saved Beastmaster, but like murdered the rest of them. Like there's a couple of survivors,
Oh, wow.
but and I didn't need to go into a berserker rage to do it either.
Yeah, I just calmly and rationally murdered them.
So it turns out I'm just literally a psychopath. Hi, I'm Wolverine. Hi, snicked. No remorse.
Hashtag no remorse.
So they're having a good time, and basically they're deciding that like because the magic is affecting key members of their team and it's screwing things up, we should probably try to give up our powers and give up this ridiculous dream. And like the room is split in half. Some are like no, and the other half is like you should. The teams are split, and then there's just a big silly fight.
Yep.
Where everybody displays their awesome powers.
I'm not going back.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Exactly.
Then we're going to fight.
So they do.
And so they do. Let it commence. Then let this be our final battle.
Yeah, and then like the Buildmaster guy sees his book, his sketchbook, and he's like, "Where'd you find that? Get rid of that book. It's a source of my secret shame." Which is that the second that I was able to have these powers and create, like I lost my ability to imagine.
Oh.
What?
So he can only create stuff that he had already thought of?
Yes.
He'll never invent anything cool or new?
Yeah.
Is he the only one who has a cost to
No,
his
they
power?
all do.
Okay.
They all lose something that is deeply personal / their hidden talent. Like, I'm really good at doing this. And now I literally have powers.
Right.
And I traded that ability for powers. Everyone basically
It's like a
trades,
monkey paw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone basically trades their imagination for these powers. And then Loki's like, okay, you stumbled upon what happened. In order to make it work, all your powers are magic-based, the powers I gave you.
Right.
Except for those of you who have magic powers. Anybody who has, like, magic that isn't connected to Asgardian magic, it's gonna fuck you up and kill you. And that's just the nature of how my magic works.
Right.
So, like, I
Sorry.
guess just because she was in proximity of it?
Yes.
Oh.
And because the more people who use that magic, the more effective she is by her own magic. And Shaman, too.
Okay.
Okay.
So Loki is just telling them, yes, you will, if you're a human, in order to affect the abilities that you'll get, because I'm planning on you taking my message out into the world and making all the human race have powers.
Right. Bring everyone here.
Yeah, and they'll drink from the font or whatever.
Right.
Whatever. But the plan is, like, everyone will get powers, and that therefore the world will get better.
Right.
And
And
they're
all
like,
they have to lose is
their
everything that
imagination.
makes them special.
Yes. But, and the reason for that, by the way, is because imagination and creativity is part of an innate magic that humanity has within them.
So his magic is like overriding or
It
obliterating
costs
that,
that
magic.
in order to get that.
Imagination
Interesting.
is magic.
Yes.
Yes.
And then it costs that sacrifice of magic in order to get, like, outward obvious magic.
Okay.
And they're like,
Kids are the most magical beings
Yeah.
ever.
Naturally.
Yeah. They're the most in touch with their inherent magic.
Yeah.
Because they haven't layered bullshit on top of it and
However-
logic and science
Exactly.
and corrupted it.
Now, mutants, they are imbued with power based on a genetic change, right? They are not affected by that magic cost. So they can be clever and imaginative and create.
All right.
And Loki's like, and that's how you'll still have things getting invented and stuff.
Well, the mutants will do that.
Right. And then Cyclops is like, so then how long will it take humanity to hate and fear us for being able to create things or think up stuff?
Right.
And Loki's like, who? What? I don't know anything about X-Men. And so Cyclops just blasts Loki with his optic blast. Loki throws some frost giants at them.
It's
And
like, why are you so ungrateful?
yeah.
God.
And so a big fight happens. And ultimately, it's great because, like, one of the members of the plane team is critically injured. And Madeline gave up her powers to fight alongside Cyclops. And then she's like, I could fix him from being dead, but I don't have my powers. And Loki's like, I can give them back to you, but you have to promise that you'll never go back. That you will always have these powers, and you will always fight for me and to change the world in this way. And she's like, okay, just to save him. So she does.
Well, wait a minute, but how did she give them up in the first place?
Because once they, like, said we don't want it anymore, kind of like purchased it from their system.
Okay. Okay.
So then she fixes that guy, and then everyone kind of, like, gets their bearings. And Loki's like, well, anyway, Madeline says she's never going to change, and so, you know, you're just going to have to fall in line. And before they can get into another ethical
She can
debate,
say whatever she wants, man. That's her.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not keeping my powers.
But then the gods show up,
Okay.
and they're like, Loki, this is not what we were talking about.
Not even close, man.
Loki's like, what?
Look, they're like,
Aw.
I thought you might volunteer, or like, I don't know, like,
Like, help old ladies cross the street, anything.
like go
Your
to a children's
first choice-
hospital.
Yeah, literally, they're like, your first choice involved ruining something about humanity.
Yeah.
God damn it, Loki. That's
like-
exactly.
Like all you had to do was like read any current events as to what was going on with mutant kind, and you know this was a bad idea.
no.
Yeah.
So then they're like, you got to fix it. Got to
Put it back. Put it all
and,
back.
and unmake that promise you just made with Madeline Pryor. And he's like, fine. So he takes all their gifts away, and
Okay.
he's like, one day, like, you'll wish you made this deal with me. And Puck, who I guess Claremont thinks has the most to lose, is like, screw you. Like, yay. Like, even Puck is down
All right.
for this plan.
Okay.
So then, like, Snowbird and Shaman get better, and, like, Alpha Flight gets on the plane, and they all just, like, plan on leaving.
I'm like, whoa, that was crazy.
Yeah, and Rachel is, like, staying behind in the castle, which, of course, is falling apart, because that's how it works. Cyclops is like, I'll go get her,
Ah,
because I need to.
Right.
Because
even though I don't
unbeknownst to
know
me,
that I have any connection to her at all, but I'll go.
Yeah, so
I
he's
just met her.
Yeah, so he's looking for her. And Rachel's like, "Why should I even answer him? He's my dad, but he's with the wrong woman." Blah blah blah.
He's not my real dad.
That's not my mom.
Yeah. So Cyclops is like, "I hear you're." So Cyclops finds her, and he's like, "I hear you're from the future. Like, so what's going on?" And basically they have a conversation that indicates you look just like Jean. You look like Jean's daughter. And she's like, "That's because you're my dad." But no one says those things out loud. And so they just like agree to be friends and then get on the plane.
That's
What?
weird.
I just love it. It's like Scott's like, I better go get her because like every redhead I run into has something to do with Jean
Yep.
or another version of Jean
So I'll go get her.
and me.
So the whole damn like palace falls apart as they fly away, but amongst the rubble, a single rose blooms that represents like the hidden, innate magic within all of us.
Well, it's like it's a countdown. You know, when the last petal falls,
Yeah. Then
then they're all
Come
screwed.
back,
the
or-
powers will return or something.
I like there was a scene back there with like Snowbird like turning back into an owl.
Yes.
Like as though she's like, "Hooray! You can't have powers, but I can."
Thanks a lot.
So what the hell does this have to do with the cover?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So Loki's creepily peeping in on Storm because he's developed a weird crush on her for some reason.
Okay.
And he's like, I gotta get this fine-ass bitch to move into Asgard with me. And then I'm gonna take over Asgard and she'll be like my total awesome queen. And that's his plan.
And Thor's gonna be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's like me, but hot."
right. Now,
I mean,
this
I'm pretty hot.
but I can't beat Loki and his awesome wife Storm, who doesn't have powers right now, but if she did, whew, she'd be super powerful.
I'm just imagining
still
Loki
doesn't have
having
powers?
these.
Yeah, no, she doesn't have powers now.
I'm just imagining Loki having these like conversations all by himself.
He naturally has to because
Like,
nobody's there.
He's like, and Thor's gonna come in and be like, "Oh,
Forsooth, you suck.
Stormy should be with me."
And Loki's like, nah, I
And Storm's gonna be all like, "No way, I love Loki because he's so fine."
Yep.
He's like, "Yeah, that's how it's
how it's
gonna
gonna go.
Yeah."
That's why he's always miserable, because nothing ever turns out the way he imagines.
The conversations never quite go
No,
the way
not
Loki
even
had them.
close. So anyway, Loki's like, he conjures Enchantress, aka Amora. She's like a fun Asgardian villainess that bothers Thor.
She looks totally different than I've ever seen her.
Yeah.
Usually she's got the like the stockings with the
outfits.
rings on it.
No.
No, she's just like, it's like she was in New York.
Yeah, just wearing a dress. And
Well, she was summoned by Loki without her permission, so maybe she was someplace else.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's like, you gotta help me, because it's totally gonna screw over, like, Thor and stuff. It'll be fun.
And she's like, okay,
Yep.
you summoned me here against my will, but like that sounds good.
Cast him down.
What is happening?
Well, so the New Mutants are like living on a Grecian island right now, just kind of like taking it easy because they had a crazy adventure with the Shadow King earlier.
Okay.
All
And
right.
Storm's just kind of helping them out because she's got no powers. What else is she gonna do?
But she got a sweet mohawk.
She has the
does.
rad mohawk.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And we reveal Karma, who is a member of the New Mutants, who was abused and used by the Shadow King, and he like forced her to become obese
Why?
because he's a dick. And when he was purged, he like left her, and she was stuck in this form.
Okay.
Wow.
So she's like just to hang out with them.
I guess that sucks because, like, as we know, all X-Men.
Are gorgeous and cut.
Yeah,
and
like-
she's like, and I'm not just heavy, I'm morbidly obese.
Like, every X-person.
Every ex-woman is gorgeous.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. So she's like, I want to die. Just let me die. Don't bring me
Right.
food. Don't bring me anything. Just let me die here.
Yeah.
And Storm's like, no. Like, you have to have courage and grow. Like, you have to try. It's just another big villain to fight. Is your wait.
Okay.
Here we go. Meanwhile, the other gorgeous New Mutants are having a great time on the beach. They're just enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you see, this is Warlock. And Warlock is not a human. He is approximating what a human looks like. And he was modeling his swimsuit after Ilyana Rasputin, a.k.a. Magic, and her sexy outfit. Because he's an alien, techno-organic being.
Right.
And so he doesn't really know much about humanity.
Uh-huh.
So he's like, oh, well, if I'm a guy, then I'll look like this, and if I'm wearing a swimsuit, I'll wear the one she's wearing.
Okay.
Warlock can turn himself into, like, practically anything. His default position is this.
Yikes. What is happening there?
Danny Moonstar is just posing because she's actually on top of the rocks, watching her teammates kind of like sun themselves and have a good time. So then she conjures a horrible serpent monster to come out of the water and attack them. And
Why?
Because
It's funny.
no, it's because like you're New Mutants, you're students of Xavier. Just because we're like on this gorgeous island doesn't mean that like we shouldn't be training. She basically creates a danger room scenario for them.
Okay.
And danger can come at any time. So, springs Cannonball and Sunspot into action.
Okay.
There's also another character who's also a member of the New Mutants named Cypher. Cypher can decipher any language of any kind. That's his mutant power.
So we could talk to the lizard.
He can talk to the lizard, but it's a fake lizard. It's made by Moonstar. So but he can talk. He can read any alien language. He can speak any alien language or Esperanto. He can talk any. He can do any at all.
Okay.
Read it, see it, learn it. It's done. But that's it.
Right.
So
why is he
Like
on?
Magneto, he will die.
Why would he be involved in the danger room scenarios then?
Well,
Shouldn't he just be working in like the computer room or the
because-
command
but maybe
center?
they'll get
trying-
attacked at the base where you can't hide.
They're trying to establish like everyone has value. Just because you can't fight doesn't mean you shouldn't be a member of the X-Men.
Right, but that doesn't mean you take part in the danger room scenario.
I
Well,
know,
sometimes danger comes to you,
Exactly. You need to be prepared.
and the rest of the team needs to be prepared to
Well,
have
then-
to protect you.
No.
And
in
that's
fact,
what it really is,
and
trading
Warlock-
for them to save his life.
Yes,
That's fair.
And Warlock and Cypher are good friends. So Warlock's like, "We got it," and he just wraps around Cypher and protects him in like a tank.
Okay, because
That's
I
cool.
feel like they should just have a different class for people like Cypher.
I agree.
No, he's
and
got to go
later
through the
they-
same training.
Yeah.
He's like, here, you
I
get
think that's kind of like what Gen X became. I mean, like Husk
husk
and Skin and other flesh-based heroes.
and flesh and scab.
And Wart.
Yeah,
And Corn.
and eczema.
Anyway, so so Danny Moonstar, aka Mirage, is like, she calls off the thing.
like,
what,
all right.
What the hell's wrong with you? And she's like, listen, we're mutants, we gotta train, blah, blah, blah. So then, like, the sun turns black and they spring into action because that's craziness.
Oh no.
Warlock flies up in the air and tries to check it out, but he gets struck by lightning and lands, and Cannonball goes and gets him. And one by one, they're all attacked and then captured by Asgardian-looking bad guys.
Okay.
All right. On horseback.
And then one such character captures Storm and creates an awesome outfit that Loki would like to see her in. And then
It's all together by a piece of string.
Yep.
one
The tiniest piece of string
with
possible.
a simple shoelace knot. But they place her into a crystal chrysalis, which will keep her in stasis while also kind of like messing with her mind so that she doesn't immediately like rejoin the X-Men.
Okay.
The rest of them are all put into the dungeons, which are protected by Enchantress.
Okay.
Magic's powers are teleportation and stuff. She can teleport to Limbo and back and throughout. So she's like, bye. So she immediately uses her teleportation powers to take the New Mutants away. But because they're in Asgard and the magics are protecting them, kind of, it doesn't really work. And instead, all the New Mutants are scattered across Asgard and the myriad planes.
Oh, jeez.
Oops.
One of whom is actually sent back in time and also Asgard. And Magic is stuck where she was. She didn't go anywhere.
Right.
And so
So
Enchantress
she just sent everyone away.
yeah, and she's like, ha! She goes, poof! And Enchantress is like, that was ridiculous.
Whoops.
And then she seals her against the wall
With a bunch of hands.
with a bunch of crazy, creepy hands because she's, of course, wearing a two-piece bathing suit. So it's going to be really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Enchantress then pulls out the dark side of her soul, creates an Asgardian version of herself, and sends her to go get the rest of her teammates. And the enchantment on that evil version of Magic can take damage but not feel it because she's like a Dorian Gray-esque avatar. So only real magic or good magic who's chained to the wall will feel and absorb any damage that the other magic will incur.
Jeez. That's rough.
That's how pissed Enchantress was that Ileana gave her the finger,
Wow.
which she didn't even do. So
Metaphorically,
Karma,
she did.
yes. So Karma is dropped in the middle of what appears to be a desolate desert wasteland. And she's like, great. I'll just wait for death then, and then just lies down. And we see basically how everybody checks in on Asgard.
Okay.
Everybody but 2, really, technically everybody but 1, have an awesome time. Cypher lands in a great hall, and
It is a great hall. Look at that.
yes, and they basically go like, "Who the hell are you?" And he gives them attitude. So then they challenge him to like battle.
To a speaking contest.
No.
Oh.
He wishes. Instead, they challenge him to what Asgardians would challenge you to, which is like a fight. And one of them like sneaks up behind him and he pushes him. He just shoves him. And he goes, "Wow, that guy's got some spunk. Have our barmaid wench fight him." And she immediately defeats him.
Yeah.
And he becomes the dishwasher of Asgard.
All right. That could
Cypher-
have gone worse.
He could have
He's still
died.
alive, yeah. Okay.
Wolfsbane is sent into the middle of like a woods.
Sure.
Wolfsbane is like a werewolf for all intents and purposes. A Scottish werewolf
Okay.
who can turn herself into a werewolf, a woman, or a wolf.
Okay.
All the stages of wolfism,
Okay.
Right.
of lycanthropy.
Why would she ever use the wolf form?
Maybe you want to
Because-
run fast.
Yeah, you want to run fast, you want to track somebody.
Oh.
Maybe-
Can't a werewolf do that?
Perhaps there's 2 other wolves in a moon, and they obviously need a third.
Oh. To complete the
Yeah,
picture.
nobody knows.
Like, what does the wolf have that the werewolf
Right.
doesn't get you?
I really can't help you.
Okay.
But I'm sure all the like huge Underworld fans in the comments will let us know. So anyway, she's kind of attacked by these giants, and then this beautiful white wolf attacks the giants and causes them to fall down. And the wolf is like, "Hi."
Oh, that's what good it is being a wolf.
And so-
if you needed to attract a wolf to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but the wolf is like a magic wolf that lives in Asgard.
Oh, of
so
course.
Wolfsbane turns into a wolf, and she's like, "What up?" And that wolf's like, "You're hot." And she's like, "Thanks, but you're a wolf."
Yeah.
And then he runs away, and she's compelled to follow him. The whole story of them is he's like a beautiful wolf magic creature who can turn himself into like a wolf man. And she's
But not a human.
no, not a full man, but like a wolf man. And she's like hopelessly in love with him. And they fall in love with each other.
So they needed like a wolf-based plot for this character. Like, we got to use the wolf power somehow.
How about she's head over heels in love with a wolf man from Asgard, and the sadness will be when she has to go home.
Yeah. All right.
She doesn't have to go home.
They all have to go home at the end.
Oh.
So Warlock is just kind of stuck fighting dragons and stuff. Warlock's an interesting character because he is naive, but also he's part of this crazy race of techno-organic beings who feed on the life energy of beings in order to survive and heal.
Ooh.
And he promised as a member of the New Mutants to not do that anymore. You know, they'll feed him different kind of life forms and stuff, like,
Yeah.
you know, like lesser beings.
Like squirrels and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But like, don't let us see it because it's gross. But he sees this like huge dragon's gonna fuck him up, so he's like, "I promised them I wouldn't do it, but I guess I'll you know what? I'll have to break my promises one time." And he kills the dragon to
thing.
get powers.
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh, I feel so good." So Warlock lands in hell, and he fights a serpent and absorbs its life force, so he can like get to full strength. He inadvertently changes it into long shot because it would be a long shot to get out of here. Hell shows up.
Inadvertently?
He says it will be a long shot, and then Arthur Adams draws him to be look like long shot.
Right.
Because Warlock is quirky and fun.
Yeah, he's
guess.
Freakazoid. He's the mask of the X-Men.
I don't
New
need
Mutants, I should
that.
say. No, you do. You need some humor in these books.
What?
So then Hela shows up and she's like, "Hey, I claim souls of like warriors and cowards. Which one are you?" And he's like, "A coward," and he leaves. So Sunspot is having a grand old time. He's in a tavern.
Okay.
Sunspot is the strongest mutant on Earth.
Okay.
We established this in Avengers No Surrender.
Oh.
When he helps to like turn the wheel that keeps the Earth from spinning out of control all by himself. Mm-hmm. So just they're tying it in
Why is he called Sunspot?
because he could turn into a big, like fiery.
Because he's a Kirby Crackle.
Oh. And also the most powerful mutant.
Yes.
Like strength-wise?
Strength-wise. That's
Okay.
it. He's the most strong mutant.
Strong mutant. Okay.
So he's having a good time. He's also very
He's arm wrestling people.
yeah, and he's exotic, and most folk in Asgard aren't.
Oh.
So they're like, ooh. So all the ladies are like, hello.
Okay.
Also, he's winning arm wrestling fights, and there's a wench that was taken by like one of the losers of the arm wrestling fight, and so you know, he's like making out with her, and so Sunspot like knocks him through a building and then kicks the crap out of everybody, and he's like, I think I'm stronger than anyone in Asgard. And that's kind of awesome.
He's like, I'm gonna stay here.
That's his plan.
Oh,
He gets laid like 18 times in this book, and he's like, and everyone's like, not only does everybody think he's awesome because he's brown, but they also think he's awesome because he's powerful. But here on Asgard,
everything's about strength.
everything's about how
And I'm
awesome
the
I am.
strongest one.
So-
Everyone's a brawler.
Exactly.
They don't have like ranged weapons.
And they don't know-
I could just beat everybody.
And they don't know racism because there aren't any other races.
Well, there you go.
So he's like, I'm staying.
and a bunch of mini sunspots were born about 9 months later.
Exactly. And Asgard is peopled with little sunspots. At some point or other,
They're all really mad.
he bumps into Wolverine and he's like, I'm staying. Wolverine's like, cool.
Why is Wolverine there?
Because they have to go save Storm.
How did he get? All right, I'm
they
sure you'll
figure it
explain
out.
that
That
to
comes
us.
later.
Yeah.
I
We're
love
still
it.
going through what happens.
But it's so great because he's like, oh, so you're just gonna stay here because it's easier.
He's
Easier
like,
than trying.
yes.
Yeah, and he's like, cool.
Yeah.
Well, you're a coward.
Well, this
Well,
is what
how
it's
about
like
this?
for everybody else in the world.
I'd
so-
rather live here and be happy than be a rage monster like you.
Yeah. Well, this range monster joined a friggin' cause. Pathetic loser.
Well, I'm joining a cause too. It's the getting Sunspot laid cause.
Yeah, well, it's
going
great.
well.
Business is booming. So, anyway, Sunspot's having a great time. Magma, another member of the New Mutants,
Yeah, I remember her because she was one of the
playable characters in
like
X-Men
well,
Legends.
yeah, she was like your gateway character.
Yes. She is tricked by fairy folk into eating their food and then is transformed into a member of the fairy folk, and she is stuck in that form until the end of the book. She complains about it endlessly, and that's her whole story.
Is she adorable?
Yes.
Okay,
But she hates it because she's like, I'm a freak, I have pointy ears, I'm short.
that's exotic.
I know.
Why do all the New Mutants get to wear normal clothes except for Magic, who's stuck in her bathing suit? They were all in their bathing suits.
That's a really good question. Why is that? Why,
When did they all change?
Why is just the one who had arms all over her in her bathing suit?
So Cannonball finds himself in the realm of the dwarves and ultimately makes friends with them. Mirage is wandering an open plain and she discovers a Pegasus is trapped by horrible barbs.
Oh.
She frees the Pegasus at the cost of some pain. And then the Pegasus, it was revealed, was caught by hunters who looked to kill it. And she's like, she immediately feels this like kinship with the Pegasus.
Right. It's like, I just went
Save
through
this
hell to
frickin'
save this thing.
And they're like, thanks a lot, bring it over. And she's like, no, I will die to protect this friggin' horse. And they're like, right on. So Danny uses her mutant ability of Mirage to show them what they fear most, which is Hela. And they're like, oh shit, Hela's here, and they just leave.
Awesome. It's good use of that power.
Yes.
So then a Valkyrie shows up, and she's like, hey, what are you doing here? And what are you doing with this horse? With this Pegasus?
Right.
Because we have those. Those are our horses.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you should come with me. Because like the Pegasuses are not very forgiving creatures. So like if it likes you, you should come with us.
Right.
So she hops on the Pegasus and the two of them go to the Valkyries.
Like, this is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Magic is tortured and humiliated by Enchantress. And Karma is just kind of like dragging herself across the sand.
I thought she was just giving up.
Well, she keeps waking up and going like, "Oh, I'm not dead yet, damn it!" And then like tries to crawl to like a hotter spot in the desert. But then like a big horrible sand demon shows up that's gonna kill her. She's like, "Finally!" And then there's a child beneath the demon, and the kid's like, "Ah!" And Karma's like. So she uses her ability to possess other lesser beings and controls the lizard brain to go away.
Why doesn't she control it to like ride out?
I don't know, but she
Doesn't think of that.
She doesn't think of that. She's desperate. She's also like delirious and
Right.
dying. So this little girl like grabs her and she's like, "You're not gonna leave me alone here, are you?" She's like, "I guess not,
But I will eat you.
but I will consume you." No. So she's like, I gotta help this little girl.
Yeah.
So now she has a purpose.
All right. Cool.
Cypher's being spat on and laughed at when Magic's evil twin shows up and attacks everybody. And,
Cypher's like, I should not be an X-Man.
I am going to get into accounting.
I'll go join like the United Nations. I'd be great there.
Right? Yeah, I'll be a translator. It'd be great.
Or, translator.
Seriously.
I'll just keep it under
Or
wraps.
like join Corsair and go into space and be their universal translator.
Yeah. Any of that would be better.
Way
Yeah.
cooler than
Being
this.
an X-Man.
You at least have an in with Corsair. So anyway, Ileana's like wrecking the place, or evil Ileana.
Yeah.
And so Cypher jumps out the window and leaves, and he bumps into Warlock.
Okay.
And Warlock's like, "Yay, you're here!"
Warlock got away from Hela?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, because he ran.
He ran away.
Okay.
He just ran. Yeah.
So then Warlock creates a cool like action figure unicycle thing and puts Cypher inside of it, and then they like go look for their friends.
Okay. So this book is just them getting back together.
Yeah, it's getting the band back together.
Yeah.
So Volstagg and the Warriors 3 show up, and they're like, "We've heard of this a shadow-skinned character." Like, okay, we really, you can dial it back a little bit. We get
I
it.
keep hearing about this arm wrestling dude who's getting laid a lot.
But they hear that his strength rivals that of even Thor.
Oh.
And then they see him and they're like, "Oh, but tis but a babe. He couldn't possibly beat me." And so Volstagg's like, if you are so strong, then you could lift me. Because Volstagg's fat, you see.
Right.
Yeah.
But his fat is like enchanted fat. So it's not just like lifting fat, it's lifting
Right.
like Volstagg. So Sunspot lifts with his back and not with his legs, and he manages to lift Volstagg, but also hurt his back a little bit.
Oh.
It comes into play only in as much as he keeps complaining about his back hurts. It doesn't like become a crucial thing where Sunspot would win the day if not for his bad
It's
back.
just a joke about how heavy
Volstagg.
Volstagg is.
So then,
Are they impressed at least?
oh, very. Oh no,
Okay.
he lifts Volstagg, and they're like, it's the Warriors 4 now.
Welcome to the team.
I'm imagining, wait, if Thor's fighting this huge battle,
Yeah,
with
where the
Hela,
hell are they?
Why aren't they there?
It was probably boring. I'll tell you this, I went back and read it, and it was. So yeah,
Like, well, Hela might like kill us. I'm gonna leave
screw
that
that.
to Thor.
exactly.
That's like a
That
Thor
sounds-
level problem.
Yeah, that sounds like a Thor problem. We should get some food.
Right. And some babes.
Yes. Oh, we can't, because Sunspot has them all.
Right. Share the wealth, man.
They're gonna like kick him out immediately.
So Cannonball, the whole plot with him is he makes friends with Eitri, who's Peter Dinklage,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who makes weapons?
and his daughter. I don't think he woos her or anything. It's just more like he makes friends with them and he's cool and he protects them from like other Asgardian horrors and agents of evil Ileana. And so, because he's cool and he protects them and he's non-invulnerable when he's in his cannonball state, they're like, "You're dope. You're part of the family now," and they make him some like cool Asgardian. So Danny names her Pegasus, something girly and adorable.
Hope.
It's Brightwind.
Okay.
All right.
That's fair.
And it's great. She's having a great time, and she's a member of the Val. I don't know. She doesn't even know she's really like turned into a Valkyrie. Really.
Right. She doesn't even know what that means.
All right, she doesn't know she's been turned into a Valkyrie. She's got like all of the Valkyrie
She gets all
garb.
their shit, but she doesn't know that like she's actually been imbued with the power of the Valkyries.
Okay.
This is a thing because in Asgard, Valkyries are to be feared. Valkyries claim the souls of people on the battlefield and can even kill people like the Enchantress and stuff. So like the Valkyries are a solitary and scary people. And Danny doesn't really know that. And they're kind of keeping that from her. Because she like shows up places and they're like, "Ah!" and they run away. And she's like, "Why are they afraid of me? We're pretty and we ride adorable horses. Like, why are they so scared of us?"
With feathery wings. And we feed them sugar cubes. And they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
those are death horses.
I braided his tail and put flowers in his mane.
Pegasus killed 30 men. That's why we were hunting it. So Loki's gonna be in this book at some point, right?
Loki goes to...
Yeah, where the hell is
Wasn't this book
Storm?
about Storm and Loki?
It becomes about that in the last 3 pages. So Eitri gets visited by Loki. Loki's like, "I hear there's some mutants in here," and he's like, "No mutants here." Loki leaves, and then Cannibal comes out, and they're like, "Whoo!"
Wow, Loki, really?
with the Lord of Lies. So
So was bringing the mutants along a total accident? He just like wanted Storm, and they
Yes.
were there too.
yes,
It's
Man,
really
Loki's
sloppy.
really good at making plans.
I know.
Yeah.
Ileana winds up like one by one capturing as many of the mutants as she can.
Evil Ileana.
Evil Ileana,
yeah.
I should say, yes. Eventually, Warlock and Cypher catch up with Karma, who, after months and months of wandering through the desert with this little girl, becomes smoking hot.
Months?
Yeah, she was the only mutant among the team to be thrown back in time as well as space.
Oh.
What
so
happened to
that-
all her skin?
It snapped into place. Maybe
If you lost weight that quickly?
Well, it was magic weight.
Yeah, it's
Her
Shadow King weight.
Skin wasn't really
Well, if it was
stretched.
magic weight, then how come some magical being couldn't have helped her with that?
And they probably
They
could
could
have,
have.
but she was so like broken as a person, she needed to like rise above and become stronger than she was.
Okay.
Which they say in the book that she's stronger ever than she was before.
Oh.
And then the little girl disappears because, of course, she was supposed to be like a totem.
It was her inner child.
It was not.
It-
In fact, it was actually 3 Norns who felt bad for her and sent like a thing.
They were like,
to motivate her to like go
it
to
was
the
3
gym.
Norns stacked on top of each other in a tiny trench coat.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a subconscious like manifestation of her need to help people.
No,
No, it was
literally,
these friggin' made up things.
Yep.
Randomly saw her and felt bad for her.
Yeah. Which Ileana.
God damn it.
Which evil Ileana says in an exposition monologue. So then the little girl disappears.
Okay.
All right.
Then Cannonball shows up along with Magma, who's now a fairy, and like they fight her. You know,
Okay.
they fight Dark Ileana.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, Danny uses her mental powers to possess Dark Ileana, and then look like she captured all of them, go to Enchantress's chambers, and then spring their trap and kick the crap out of her.
Okay.
Okay.
So really, Enchantress is more of a threat here than Loki.
Very much so.
Yeah, Loki's not
What
even
has
trying to
Loki
hurt
been
anybody.
doing this whole time?
I bet it was a lot of this. So, it's cool because you know, Enchantress has a lot of like dudes protecting her, but Mirage casts, you know, thing they fear most, which is Odin climbing out of the ground,
Whoa.
and they're like, "Oh crap!" And so then
That's awesome.
Karma forces Dark Ileana to like go down into the dungeon to find magic, and then basically like forces them into each other.
Right, like to recombine.
So now magic is back to normal.
So then magic kicks the hell out of
Enchantress,
Enchantress.
big time.
Okay.
Magic is like, I'm not going to kill you. They beat everybody. They catch Enchantress. And Magic's like, I am the Lord of Limbo. And because of a previous story, which involved demons and shit,
Yeah.
I'm friends with one. And so I'm going to leave you in his care in Limbo. So
Oh, wow.
she says, don't kill her, but have fun with her.
Oh my god.
And he's like, will do. So Sin takes Enchantress and goes to Limbo. And
Does
then
this ever come up again? Like Enchantress comes back and is like,
I don't remember it ever being a thing, but I didn't read a lot of Thor, so I couldn't tell you.
okay.
So then they're all like, woo! Now I guess we'll go save Storm.
Woo, that was a fun adventure. What were we doing here?
Literally, that's what they go. Oh, I guess we should save Storm. I should also point out that like in the big fight.
Yeah.
No, wait, that's a different fight.
And at least 75% of this team is like, and I'm not going home.
Oh yeah. Oh no, their plan is they're gonna stay, except for
Cypher?
Cypher and
Magma?
And Magma. She's still mad that she's a fairy person.
She's adorable.
I agree.
Look at her.
No, she's fun.
You just pick her up and be like, wee.
I'm sure that's why she doesn't want to be that anymore.
Ah!
Also, Danny Moonstar is like, oh, by the way, I also have an awesome Pegasus, and I have superpowers and stuff. Like, more than I did before.
So-
Warlock becomes Gumby
Yeah, I see
I
that.
just noticed
because
that.
he calls the horse Pokey.
Oh, god damn it.
Because it's funny.
No, it's not.
So then, it's great because Enchantress goes, you fools! You're no match for Loki. And they go, beat you easy enough.
Yeah. Have fun with that demon.
Yep.
This is very uncomfortable.
That's a very dark book.
Yeah.
So the X-Men get a psychic vision from Rachel Summers, who's connected with magic, about how they're trapped in Asgard. And we get a really quick summary of what happened. Like, Ileana turned bad, and Loki has Storm. That's all they need to know. So then Cyclops grabs a couple of magic lightning bolts from Archon, a gift from a character that you don't know anything about.
What?
And it doesn't matter. but
Okay.
they're interdimensional lightning bolts that if you throw them, you can go to different places in planes of existence.
Okay.
So they're like, I guess we'll go to Asgard. So the X-Men like get together. They're gonna leave Madeline behind, of course, because she has no powers.
Yeah.
And Rachel Summers is like, cool, let me just put on my new costume, Phoenix. And everyone's like, that's in poor taste. And she's like, couldn't care less. And they go.
Why would she... Where did she get that?
Yeah.
She made it herself.
Where'd she come up with that idea?
They
How
all
is
have
that
that
bird
ability.
head staying up?
Tape?
Just saying, you would just be like, bleh.
Yeah. So Magma has like a dream that like the X-Men are trying to figure out what they're gonna do about Storm at the mansion, and then she wakes up and it's actually like a recollection of their plan and conversation, but she's still a fairy person.
Okay.
What is her power?
She makes
magma. She makes
magma.
Like, yeah, she makes literal like lava and stuff.
Oh.
And can become lava.
Oh.
So, Eitri is forced by Loki to make a enchanted Uru hammer for Storm
That's cool.
because she has no powers yet.
Oh, nice.
And Loki's like, if you're gonna be here, you're gonna be my wife. You're gonna need some powers that rival Thor's. So he makes
Because
her
I'm going to send you out to fight Thor.
big time. So Cannonball and Eitri like team up and build this hammer.
Okay.
The X-Men.
They're just going to make the hammer?
Oh yeah, why not? So.
Like, all right.
Well, Cannonball can't really stop him, and Eitri's like trying to like stall Loki. He's like, yeah, I'll make this stuff, and he gives Sam, aka Cannonball, a bunch of like cool Asgardian armor.
Okay.
The X-Men land in Asgard. They bump into a bunch of jerks who are trying to kill a white wolf. Wolverine's like, not on my watch. So he shows up and kicks their ass. The X-Men team up.
Yeah.
They meet the white wolf. It's, of course, the wolf that loves Wolfsbane.
Uh-huh.
They like look into its mind and find out that like he knows her, so they're gonna go get her. But before that happens, Hela shows up, and Hela's like, y'all killed a bunch of cool Asgardians. I'm taking their souls. Oh! And she sees Rachel Summers. She's like, ooh!
What?
Your mom is... I love her work. She
huge
got me
fan.
so many souls. When you die, say hello for me. And then leaves. Cyclops, I guess, was like thinking of a song he wanted to remember because he doesn't hear any of that or put it together.
Cyclops is like, he's having his own,
He's
like,
like-
all right, when we get there, I'm going to say this to Loki. I'm gonna,
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, you broke your promise, Loki. Some load of lies you are.
Right. I'm gonna say something like, to me, my X-Men, or X-Men Assemble. I don't know if I
Ooh,
can
I
say
like
that.
that.
One. It's a little on the nose. What?
Nothing. But I love it. She says, mayest thou be as talented as thy mother was.
That's
And you're like,
freaking
oh, what a jerk.
cool, though.
So Warlock becomes a bird to try and like hear what's going on at Loki's place.
Yeah.
And Loki's like, birds. That's convenient. Arrow.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's Warlock with a magic arrow that takes him out.
Okay.
Not out, down. Takes him
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. All right.
They move into Enchantress's like cool quarters, and Ileana just starts reading all the magic books that she can possibly get her hands
Okay.
on.
She also puts
And
on a cool, like,
Loki-esque helmet.
Loki/Hela-esque helmet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
As a result of her exposure to the magics that Amora used, she becomes more and more like Enchantress. She gets more and more dark and angry and bitter and douchey.
Blonder. And
Yeah. That's the New Mutants, though. The X-Men are hanging out in the woods trying to like piece it together. So Wolverine takes Rachel and Shadowcat and Rogue, and they go into like the city. And Rogue steals them some Asgardian clothing so they can fit in better.
I was going to say, what happened to the rest of Logan's
Wolverine's
shirt?
pants.
I mean, like, he's pretty much covered from head to toe anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he's nothing but fur,
Yeah.
which is another one to
Yeah.
go with skin and husk.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fur.
Fur. Ew.
So-
what is happening with Storm? It
Oh.
seems like she's like,
She's
this
having a
is
great
pretty
time.
sweet.
Well, because her mind's been altered through the chrysalis that Loki put her in. Remember
Okay.
45 minutes ago when I told you about that? So,
No, I don't remember that.
So,
Did you mention
hang-
the chrysalis?
Hang on a second. Why do the New Mutants have to be here at all?
oh, they don't anymore.
Right,
So-
now it's just an X-Men book.
Yeah, now it's an X-Men book.
Why
Now
did they
we
have to
can-
be here before?
Why is it called X-Men Asgardian Wars? So, why did they have to be there before? Because Storm was hanging out with the New Mutants. He took all of them.
Because we got to get the New Mutants in books.
New Mutants are the future here, ladies and
Yep.
gentlemen. New Mutants. Sunspot's having an awesome time, getting drunk and banging bitches. And Danny and Cypher show up and they're like, hey, stop it and come with
We
us.
gotta go.
And of course, like everyone's afraid of her, except for one really drunk guy. But everybody's like horrified by a Valkyrie showing up. They get Sunspot. Cypher finds Warlock, and Warlock freaks out because he senses that Danny has changed and dangerous in this realm now.
Sure.
He doesn't like recognize her, and he like runs away. He grabs Cypher and he takes off. And Danny's like, great,
All right.
we gotta split up and get back together again. So the X-Men bump into Wolfsbane, and they finally team up. It's cute because like they had their Wolfman with them, their Asgardian wolf, and the wolf knew her scent, so the wolf brought them to her. And once they find each other, she turns into a Wolfman, and they like dog run around each other, like ah! And then she turns back into a person. She's like, "Oh God, why did I do that? What's wrong with me? Jesus, it was a horror." Like, no, it's sad because she's like, "Am I a dog? Am I a person? Like, what's wrong with me?" And you're like, "Nobody cares, Chris. Nobody wants to explore that." But she basically says, like, "I lost myself for a minute.
I acted like an animal."
Yeah, you adorably hopped around. It wasn't like she dropped.
Thank God for that.
So, I was about to, though.
Yeah.
Before I turned into a person.
So anyway, Cypher and Warlock are like talking. Warlock and Cypher are, by the way, best friends. That's their connection. And Warlock's like, "I'm fucked. Like, I'm broken. I gotta absorb life energy." And Cypher's like, "Why don't I give you some of mine, and then you'll get better?" And he's like, "Wow, like really?" And so like they kind of like merge a little bit. Eventually they will merge when both of them die, but like that's not what's happening here. It's more just like, and there's nothing nefarious about it.
Right.
It's just that like he gets into him. It's nothing. There's nothing gross or nefarious about it. It's just that Cypher goes inside of Warlock.
Right.
And makes him feel good. So.
Okay.
So the X-Men, like the reconnoitering X-Men of Wolverine and Shadowcat and Rachel, they're literally just looking for Thor. They're like, "Let's get Thor. We can get the hell out of here." And they find out that Thor's not here. So they're like, and Wolverine's like, "That's how it works. Of course Thor's not here.
Right.
Yeah.
We're in his realm, and he's not here. Let's leave."
Yeah.
So Loki wound up capturing the rest of the X-Men when they hooked up with Wolfsbane. And so he's got them captured. And he's going to like use... And it's great because, Cyclops is like, "So much for your word, Loki." And Loki's like, "Oh, I didn't do anything. All of you are the result. All of this is the result of your actions. What you did got you here. I wanted Storm. You guys got involved in all this."
Right.
You
insisted
I love
on
her,
rescuing
and
Storm.
she loves me.
Yeah,
And you'll see.
So so Loki turns both wolf creatures into like wolf monsters that work for him now. Nightcrawler grabs Cyclops and then teleports next to Rogue and kisses her, so she absorbs both powers. So she teleports out of her bindings and then blasts Loki with her new optic blasts.
Oh, wow.
And she's blue.
And she like punches the shit out of Loki. And then Loki's like, "Storm, help me!" And Storm's like, "Rogue's my friend, you're not." Storm, like, because she's all like,
Right. She's like, "Wait, Loki.
Her mind has been altered.
Rogue, Loki.
Yeah. And that distraction affords Loki the opportunity to bind Rogue. And so Storm is like, "What's happening? Why did my friends attack you?" He's like, "These aren't your friends. These are bad people." So Danny finally bumps into the other X-Men, like Wolverine and Rachel, and she sees this skull form over Wolverine. Because she's a Valkyrie, she claims the lives of the upcoming dead.
Oh.
So she's like, "Oh shit, like what does that mean?"
Oh boy.
So then, like, the ground opens up from beneath them, and they all fall down, and they land, and they get attacked by like serpent creatures that are poisonous. One of them bites Wolverine, and he gets Asgardian poisoned, and he's like, "My mutant healing factor can't catch up with this poison. Eventually, I will die."
Oh, wow.
And so they're about to lose, but then the USS Enterprise shows up and attacks them.
Yeah, what?
That's awesome. What?
Oh, it's Warlock.
It's Warlock.
He blasts a bunch of them, and then he lands, and then opens up, and then Cypher climbs out. And basically, most of the team is put together. We got like Moonstar and Cannonball and Wolverine and Sunspot and Rachel and Warlock and Cypher and Shadowcat and like and Cannonball, and everybody's kind of like put together.
Yeah.
All right.
Follow-up question: who's this really tall gnome-looking dude?
That's Warlock in disguise. That's Warlock in his Hagar the Horrible costume.
So now the Asgardians and the X-Men will fight.
Oh, and have that war?
Yeah.
So Karma possesses Ileana, who's like losing more and more control of herself and her goodness.
Well, obviously, because there has to be an enchantress, so someone must fill the slot.
Occupy that role, yeah. They're gonna have like a coronation for Loki, because Loki's like, "I'm gonna take over Asgard, and my queen will reign by my side." And there's a bunch of X-Men who are like in disguise, who are watching it all happen.
Yeah, Wolverine's really in disguise there. He certainly doesn't look like Wolverine.
What are you talking about? He's got his Asgardian armor.
Which is the same color as his regular uniform.
Yes.
And he's not wearing anything over his head.
No, but his awesome bod must be so distracting to everybody they won't even notice his face.
Oh, because it's covered in
hair. Yeah.
They're like, wow, look at that beast man.
I'm just a Canadian. So Wolverine has his interaction with Sunspot where he's like, "You're pathetic."
All right.
Screw you. The rest of the X-Men all kind of team up and figure out what they're gonna do. Loki unveils Storm, and then the X-Men spring into action to rescue her. Loki's like, "Cool. I need to get her hammer so she can have powers to defend me." So then he skips ahead. He skips out all the fanfare,
right,
and just reaches into the mold, just cracks it open, and then gives Aurora her hammer, where she can then truly and finally become Storm again.
Oh.
So she gets her hammer and she gets her awesome powers. Wolverine shows up and he's like, "Storm, what are you doing? You gotta stop this. I'm your friend. You're being suckered." She blasts him with her Asgardian powers and just basically kills him.
Well,
he is wrecked.
Well, at least she blasted the poison out of him.
No. Well, yeah.
Because she blasted everything out of him.
Right, she blasts the hell out of him. But she blasts him near death, and then Hela shows up, and she's like, "This one's mine.
Uh-oh.
I want this one."
Because he's the best at what he does.
Yeah. And so Storm's like, "No, you can't have him. He's my friend. He's not going to die." And then...
Wait, whoa.
You just hit him with a friggin' beam of lightning or whatever.
Yeah. You killed him.
Well, I guess that shocked her out of it?
Yeah, she's kind of winking.
She's like, whoa,
she's
what did I just
murdering
do?
her friend kind of makes her
She's like,
wake
"This
up.
is Knuckermonger rules. You keep what you kill. I'm keeping it.
This is mine.
It's
my
mine.
adamantium skeleton. I'm going to make a new hammer out of it."
I'm going to wear it like armor.
Yes. Just a rib cage. So Danny Moonstar shows up as a Valkyrie. And she's like, "I'm a Valkyrie. I call dibs on that soul." And then she attacks Hela, and Hela's like, "Know your place." And then knocks her adorable swift-wind horse out of the air.
No!
And so all seems lost. Storm cries over Wolverine, and Wolverine's like, "Aurora, he's playing you, darling. It's not you. None of this is real. This isn't you."
Right.
And she's like, "Screw you. None of you will have him." And so she blasts Hela with her newfound storm powers. And then the X-Men also blast at her. And then so Hela's like, "Screw this." She just leaves.
Ow, jeez, all right.
Really? Bail. So Hela bails, and
I don't need that.
And then Loki
literally hiding under a table.
Yeah, Loki gets under her table. He's like, "Whoo-hoo! Oh, now that she's gone, I can continue my nefarious scheme." And Storm's like, "Hey, Loki, you're a dick." And she throws her hammer at him, and he catches it. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to make you a hammer I don't have control over, please." So then he hits her with the hammer, and he's like, "Okay, I'm just going to reabsorb your mind and get all this thing back. You know, I'm going to kill the X-Men, I'm going to get back to normal." And then Shadowcat goes, "You can't beat all of us. If you don't stop, we will all scatter across Asgard, like we did earlier in this story. And it'll take you forever to get us all together. And then, if you don't, we'll all team up and kick your ass." And he's like, "Fair enough."
I don't want to go through
That's
that whole
it?
adventure again.
Yeah.
That's
so
bizarre.
he's like, "Okay, I'll do you one better. All of you have to leave, or none of you can leave. That's how the deal works. And I'll take away all of your Asgardian enchantments as well." And Magma's like, "Yay!" And everyone's like, "Boo."
Everyone's like, "Shut up, Magma. You were the worst.
Damn it, Magma.
You were the worst.
Worst one.
When we get home,
You're not an X-Men anymore.
no, you're in exile. Wait, no, you're not even that.
Yeah, because that at least has a fan following.
You're going to go live with the Morlocks."
Yeah. He goes, "Come on, Storm, if you go home, you lose your powers again. Here you can fly again. You can fly like you used to. You can call down the lightning." And she's like, This is not my place, and I don't want to have anything to do with it." And she calls down the power to destroy the hammer.
Wow.
And he's like, "What? Really?" I know we were wrapped up the book 2 pages ago, but I was kind of almost certain you'd rather be Storm than nobody. But fine. So then he kicks everybody out.
She's like, "I'm still super hot."
Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, I know." And then they all leave, and then he makes an action figure out of her old form. And he's like, "One day I'll try again, because you're just so hot." Because even when she says no, he goes, "Damn it, really? For real? And in his mind, he goes, what a woman. But can anyone tame her? And you're like, get it.
So
I almost feel bad for Loki because it's like kind of cute how much he likes her.
Right.
But like, you're going about it all wrong, Loki.
Yeah.
So Storm has been the leader of the X-Men. She's the leader of the Warlocks. She sort of like
She helped rule Wakanda.
yeah, she almost ruled
Asgard.
Asgard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, Storm.
Well,
Yeah.
co-ruled. I think
Yeah.
Loki would have.
So wait,
He was controlling her mind, so I think he would have really been in charge.
hang on.
Yeah.
I have the most important question.
Yes.
What happens to Brightwind?
He goes home with them. He goes to Earth, and Danny becomes a like Earthbound Valkyrie.
What?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
So wait, where and they? That's right. No, they're not at the X-Mansion. I was
No.
trying to imagine being like, hey, we need some.
We need a
stable.
I can imagine
And like we're gonna
Xavier
need
has
like
one.
a surplus of hay.
and sugar cubes. It's true.
Look, Xavier's rich. He probably has stables already.
Exactly.
You're gonna need a double wide one.
Certainly, I'll be happy to have it as long as I get riding privileges. Danny
That's
gets to be a
weird.
Valkyrie. She loses her ability to be a Valkyrie, but like over
But she still
20
looks like one.
over 20 years, she like stays as a Valkyrie. She becomes a darker Valkyrie. Brightwind gets like turns black and becomes like Blackwind or some shit. She like dies or loses her powers and then gets them back and becomes another Valkyrie. Like it's a whole thing. Her whole because sometimes they're like, I want to write about this Native American mutant.
So what
And then they're
happens?
like, but I made her into an Asgardian Valkyrie now.
What happens to Brightwind when that happens? I'm like obsessed with this horse.
Well, listen,
no.
like, there is actually a full like
Oh man.
you can read all about Brightwind.
What
in the
outfit is
further-
this?
That's a version of her Storm outfit and her Storm Asgardian ruler outfit,
Which doesn't
neither
appear in
of
the
which
book.
appear in the books.
It does look badass, though.
It does. You're a creep, Loki.
Yeah, Loki's a huge creep.
Yep. Yep.
But
Really disturbing.
you know, the X-Men are coming to the MCU, and Loki's everyone's favorite villain.
Oh man,
Time
this is
for adaptation
happening.
for X-Men Asgardian Wars.
Just drop the New Mutant stuff because everybody will be like, oh, what?
Yeah, just apply the New Mutants like role-playing fun, and just apply it to X-Men.
Yeah.
I don't think that's such a good idea.
Yeah, it's gonna.
But I think it's a really good idea to read this book because I think it's a lot of fun. So I'll put a link in the description box below this video for you to get a copy of this volume. I don't think that this one is in print anymore. It's old.
Yeah, this weird like.
I will say, what's
Way-
interesting is this is a little longer and it's $15, and this one's a little shorter and it's $30.
Yeah.
So bite.
Well, that's inflation.
Sucks. But in any event, we'll see you guys next time with another episode of Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Tiffany.
So long.
Wait, can you go back, Ethan, one page? I
Yeah.
just wanted to see her face down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, she's bizarrely intense, blushing marks.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, is that just in the newer, updated,
Colors.
more saturated version of this book?
Nope.
Nope.
No. It's just they couldn't.
No, we're
They
not
didn't
going to
have
use
a
pink,
color
just
for
use
that.
red.
Yeah. Just make it the same color as her hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's red. I have 4 colors to work with. So
Pink is right there. That would look fine.
I know. But then you would think her clothes got like ripped and put onto her cheeks. So